Okay, y'all. A friend of mine just forwarded me a new article that's interviewing Elizabeth Bartholet. I'm assuming is how you pronounce it. This professor at Harvard who wants to drastically restrict or eradicate parents' ability our ability to homeschool our children. And so I see a lot of homeschoolers responding and of course, poking holes in her arguments and standing up for what they believe in, which obviously is the right thing to do. But today's article just really disturbed me. Like, I can't stop thinking about it enough so that I'm like, I want to make a video and I want to talk about it and I want people to hear my voice in this. So, in the article, she talks about one of the reasons are that these ideologues, homeschooling parents, they're not, she feels they're not, the majority of them are teaching their children things that are bad for society or values that are bad for society. And one of the examples she gives is that a lot of these white homeschooling parents are teaching their children not to like Black people. And amen, sister, I hear you. There are some that are doing that. But what I don't get is, do you think that there are none in schools? Like, that's part of the reason that my kids aren't in school. So I understand, a part of me understands, all of me understands why you would want to protect children from having that thought pattern or being raised that way. But you can't do that unless you're removing children from their homes. You can't make people send their kids somewhere to be brainwashed with good or bad ideology according to whatever you may think is good or bad. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And to me, when I read that article, what I hear her saying is that all of the little homeschoolers, white homeschoolers who are being raised to be like little junior KKK members or whatever, that she wants them to go to school. And then she wants them to be forced to go to school. Okay. And also force my brown children to go to school with them. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking, I'm trying to see her side. And I'm trying to see how this is going to play out well for me and my family and other families that look like me. I don't see it. So homeschooling is this little corner of the world that we've been able to carve out. We, meaning Black people, have been able to carve out as a way of keeping our children safe. Okay. And so when I read that someone is dangling, preventing people from becoming racist or whatever as a reason for me to put my kids in school, I'm at a full disconnect. So while I have to believe that she started out in a way with something, or in her mind, she's somehow thinking that she's going to help children, what she's promoting is going to harm children. And first and foremost, what I'm concerned about, it's going to harm my children. It's going to harm my friends' children. It's going to harm brown and Black children all across America. So school is not considered a safe space for us. Sometimes I go somewhere to the YMCA or the fire department and I see that safe place sign. And I know that it means that you can, if you feel unable to take care of a child, you can safely bring them there without any repercussions. But when I look at that safe place, I think that's a place where a child is deemed safe. Well, I don't know if Elizabeth Bartholet realizes that the public school system is not deemed a safe place for Black children. And I don't know of anybody who is saying that. There may be individual schools that Black parents are like, oh, I love this school for my kid. Great. But Black homeschoolers, we don't have that. We haven't seen that safe space. And so we've created a safe place. It's called our home. And I have never seen more dedicated people who are interested in their children's education. And so she insinuates a bunch of things in her article about how homeschoolers don't, in some states they're only required to have a high school education or whatever. So what? I don't understand what that has to do with anything. I have multiple degrees, master's degree, I have multiple undergraduate degrees. So what? Most of the stuff that I'm doing and teaching my children, it is not stuff that I learned in school. And I find it highly offensive that she would argue that if you only have a high school education, you are somehow not worthy of educating a kindergartner. It's ridiculous and offensive. And I could go through a whole bunch of other stuff that she said, but the purpose of this video was to focus out. And as a Black mother, homeschooling mother, I do not want people who may be on the fence about which way they feel about this. Homeschooling should be legal, homeschooling should not be legal. I don't want them to read Elizabeth Bartholet's article or her interview or her words and be like, well, I don't want to side with the white racists, so I guess I agree with her. Homeschooling must be bad. No, I want you to hear from me, okay? Not someone who's talking about how they're going to help my children, but from me, the children's mother. Homeschooling is beautiful and wonderful and necessary for Black children, okay? It is not safe for many of us to send our children to school. So I have 4 kids, 2 of them are boys. I'm not sending my Black boys to school. If anyone doesn't understand that, I feel like you either really don't have a grasp on what it's like for us, or you just haven't taken the time to learn. But if this is new information for you, take a moment, sit with it, be shocked. But we don't consider school a safe place for our boys, our kids at all, but especially our Black boys. And having someone stand there with a platform and tell other people, dangling in front of them, we shouldn't allow homeschooling because there are some bad white people and they're teaching their kids not to like Black people. And if they sent their kids to school, the beautiful, wonderful public education system in America would teach those racists, white children to love Black people. Exactly. I think we kind of tried that before a few times in America, and it didn't work out very well for us. And so while I know that public schools are necessary because homeschooling is not for everyone, I would never try to make other people be like, you must homeschool. Why would someone want to make us put our kids in school? I feel that there are different things that work better for different families. Do I feel that home education is the best path for Black children? Honestly, for most of them, if they have a parent who can execute it and do it, then yes, I do feel that way. But I know it's not, that doesn't mean it's for all Black people. I mean, I know for Black families might not want to do it. They might not be into it. They might not have the situation that's conducive. It's fine. There are plenty of reasons why Black children should go to school. But the reasons that she's giving are erroneous. And the one size fits all thing that she wants to do, or parents have to really, really, really prove that they're worthy and smart enough and have a good enough reason according to her or whoever decides on the reasons, that only those people should be allowed to homeschool, if any, is ridiculous. The thought that we should all put our kids in school so that white people don't have the opportunity to indoctrinate their children with racist thoughts is utterly ridiculous, because we're forgetting that all racist people are not homeschoolers. Most of them are in school. Their kids are in school already, ruining it for a lot of Black people and brown people already. Like, that's actually what we're trying to avoid. So the solution she's giving is the very thing that we're avoiding right now. So my kids are safer in my home. They don't deal with those type of people right now. But if they went to school without me, they would be dealing with those type of people. See how it doesn't add up? It doesn't work. Safe, unsafe. That's how, it's driving me crazy. And so what about the teachers who are racist at school? What about the administrators who are racist? What about the other racist students that are there? Is that everyone? No. And I feel like I can say this. My parents, both retired principals. My father has passed, but both public school principals. That's who raised me. Okay? So I'm not here saying that teachers are all racist, administrators or schools are all racist. No, it's dumb anytime somebody says all of something is something, just like saying that all homeschoolers are not doing right by their children, right? So, but if you're talking about a child being at home versus a child being there, if racist ideology is what we're trying to avoid, I don't see how you would land on school being the best place. So I'm going to stop now because I could probably go on for another 30 minutes without taking a break. I just want people to hear me and to know that home education is one of the very best things that happen to Black families in America. And for someone to try to take it away is bad. For someone to try to take it away and give one of the reasons that it's helping, somehow going to help us as the rationale, is evil. It's bad. It's wrong. And I want people to know about that and to hear the other side of the story. Don't believe the hype. Black home educators are a growing movement. More and more of us are coming to the table each day, and we love it. Our children are thriving. Our children are safe, very well educated, doing quite fine, happy, and our homes are filled with joy, and they are the good citizens that she's looking for. We're creating them, and we don't want you to take that away from us, that freedom to homeschool and home educate our children. Please don't try to take that away from us in the name of helping us. That's all.